What's up everyone on YouTube, TheMainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always and staying safe and healthy, and my cold is almost gone, so I kind of have my voice back, feels good. I just hexed myself terribly. I was feeling so positive, I was like, oh, I sound fine. But that's how it works, that's the YouTube curse, live in action. But as you can see, I'm gonna talk about the Spanish man Miguel in this video. It's a character not a lot of people have an interest in, but that's why I feel like it can be nice to direct a video towards you guys who actually main this guy. There's not a whole lot of you, but, well, there are some of you, so let's talk about Miguel. And I'm gonna talk about what makes him so bad, why a defensive god, European player like Sephi Black, I see him play Shaheen quite a bit. And to be honest, it feels like Shaheen is basically Miguel on steroids. And why do I say that? It's because Miguel, you might see these crazy mix-ups, you know, and Savage, strings, etc. He has some crazy stuff, you know, stuff like this, where you'll see beginner and intermediate Miguels try and mix you up with this sort of stuff. But in the end, he's a very basic character that relies on movement and doing some very basic poking into a Savage stance where he has some decent options. But yeah, very basic poking, try to get you to whiff something so he can whiff punish. And that's basically it. Very basic fundamental Tekken, and he has very strong movement to help him out here. He has a nice backdash, and his sidestep is actually really large. So if you're a strong defensive player, you can get some decent mileage out of a character. But when you compare to Shaheen, who also does super well with this type of playstyle, you know, and has a modern hopkick, Miguel has a legacy hopkick. What that means is that it has no range whatsoever. And Shaheen has a classic universal down for 2. That's very good. Miguel has his own down for 2, and it's, yeah, let's just say it's not on par with the classic down for 2. But, yes, so if you do get to launch someone, and you'll have a hard time doing so with this character, he has good wall travel, but the combo damage is average at best. So there's no real reason to play Miguel at all, considering you have characters who do the same thing, just much better. The reason you play him is because you love him, his design, and him playing the guitar and singing Mi amore opkike. But, yeah, there aren't a lot of you, so there's very few people who appreciate his design as well, I think. But, so that was just in essence Miguel, and I also want to mention that he doesn't fit Tekken 7 very well, considering this game is a lot about 50-50s, and especially getting Rage really cements how 50-50 this game is. You get Rage, and then you throw knockdown lows, you know, and you go for your big comeback. Or you get a big launch with a safe mid launcher. He has no safe mid launchers, and he has no 50-50 potential whatsoever. You might think that this move is good, but this comes out at 25 frames, sometimes 26 frames, as you can see. And it's extremely telegraphed, the animation, and a strong player, I mean online this is gonna work better, but a strong player offline will block this. And then you die, because it's minus 18. You have some cute full crouch mix-ups with a 14 frame launcher here that's extremely risky. You have a full crouch sweep, 22 frames, but again extremely telegraphed animation, and also telegraphed by the fact that it comes out from his full crouch. And the mid option has no range, or bad range, and the sweep has a lot of range, but again telegraphed by the crouch, and that is what they will be on the lookout for if they stand far away. And they will be standing far away, and why is that? Because of his horrible range. There's this saying that Miguel has T-Rex arms, and that's not made up. He has very, very poor range. But I want to stress again how important it is to have a strong 50-50 game in Tekken 7, and it's just due to the nature of Rage and how it, you know, gives you this huge comeback potential, force mix-ups with knockdown lows, and then going to the big launch that's going to give you, you know, the Rage combo. But Miguel doesn't really have a 50-50. All he has is moving around and basic poking. And his Rage Drive, again, Rage Drives are a pretty big thing in Tekken 7. I shit you not, it's a big deal. His is extremely underwhelming, comes out at 17 frames, which is not very fast. It's not slow either, but pushback +3 on block. There's not a lot of good things to say about this this Rage Drive. But it used to be like almost worst in the game, on par with Laws. But they did give it the property of a second bound. So for example, you can do 3-4 screw, and then you get a second screw or bound. So you do get combo extension, but I can't say this is amazing considering how poor Miguel's launchers are. And it's also fair to say that in Season 2 he was stronger, we're gonna get into that, and they nerfed him for Season 3. Even though he was nothing special and he didn't do particularly well in tournaments, well, didn't do well at all, but you never really see this character. But it's just fun to note that the new move they gave Miguel is this big sweep that has an awkward input. It's back, down forward 4. So it's extremely slow. The animation is 27 frames, but then you also have to factor in that does not take into account the input of back and then down forward 4. And it's very telegraphed by Miguel shouting, "Sria!" He shouts it immediately as the move starts up. And that's a great cue for your opponent to block low. And the animation is extremely telegraphed. So when this 27 frame move hits, do note that Anna's Snake Edge is 27. And has immediate high crushing. Launches on normal hit. This has no crushing. He remains fully standing, vertical. What do we get? 28 damage and +8. And it knocks them away a little bit. We can go into Savage though, which is worth mentioning. And it's a launcher and counter hit, and it's homing. But overall, I have to say that this has to be one of the worst of the new moves in Tekken 7. It is used though in some Oki situations. Like here, it's actually guaranteed. Oh, okay, I can't do the input. There it's actually guaranteed. But overall, that's a horrible move in the neutral. So this is them spitting on Miguel, going from Season 2 to Season 3. So what happened in Season 2? He had a standing 4 with long range. They nerfed the range. So no more nice magic 4 for Miguel. That also meant that this, as a 12 frame Punisher, was weakened due to the lack of range. Oh, we're gonna talk about the punishment soon. Oh my god. And they also nerfed his 50-50, because in Savage he had a down back 3 that was +5 and forced crouch. Now it's +4, so 1 less frame of advantage, but more importantly, it does not force crouch anymore. And you might be thinking, well, that doesn't sound like a big deal. It's a really big deal, because when it doesn't force crouch, your opponent is free to sidestep both sides after taking the hit. It's a really big deal. But the opponent is free to move however he wants. And of course, they nerfed Savage down for 2. It was -17 on block. This is a long range natural hit launcher. This has always been -17, but it had huge pushback in Season 2. It was safe against a lot of characters. But now, very little pushback. Very little pushback. in my opinion, they nerfed this move too much. It should have more pushback. Because right now, every single character in the game will just launch you here. So that's really bad. And to make up for all of this, they made this move, Savage 2, safe at -9. And that's a knockdown, big damage mid. So, yeah, unfortunately. And let's see, we've talked about range problems. That has been demonstrated. His arms have very poor range. Oh, I'm actually surprised when I see stuff connecting. I'm like, yeah, you go, Miguel. You go, big boy. Oh, look, it connected. Yeah, come on. Yeah, you're just standing there looking cool, Spanish man. Let's see. So, we've talked about that. He has good homing, though. Forward 4 is really nice. Forward 3. Look at this homing move. Eesh! Launches a normal hit. It's a high, but that's a good move. But why is he allowed good homing? It's because his 50-50 is so weak. It's like the same phenomenon you see with Brian. Brian is allowed incredible space control because of a weak 50-50. Kazuya, however, has worse space control because his 50-50 is so strong. You see how that works? How you have to make a trade there to make the character balanced. And Miguel's 50-50 potential is just bad. But good homing. So again, weak comeback potential. And that's a huge thing in Tekken 7. Yeah, down back 1. Slow sweeps. Terrible rage drive. No safe mid launcher. The counter hit launchers are not amazing either. This forward 2 high is interesting. Back 1, this high, when it connects, and I'm gonna say when it connects, I'm gonna say that very loosely, because this almost never connects. They really have to help you out here. But there's this myth going around that this move actually hit at some point in 2017. A Miguel player got this move to hit. His name was Shana Harababa. And he's a legend now in the Miguel community. There are posters of him everywhere at Sephi Black's place. But when it does work, it is an 11 frame counter hit launcher. He's quite slow. These big frame moves like +3 here. Yeah. Back 3, +7. But again, comes out at 30 goddamn frames. And again, up for 1, 25 frames. This is a lot of frames being airborne, you know, mid-air, right in your opponent's face. And if they do a jab, you get floated. Oh, that's a lot of frames of you hanging in the air. And overall, a pretty sluggish character. Pretty slow, in my opinion. So you have a hard time launching people. I think if Savage up for 3 was a counter hit launcher, that would be great, but it's not. You have Savage back 4 for a high counter hit launcher. There's a big lack of good counter hit launchers, or mids at least. And another point to mention is that Miguel and Dragunov have the longest legs in the game, which you see. Oh god, I didn't even mention the punishment. Again, weak jab. 2-1 is 11 frame punish, but has no range. Or very limited range. So for 12 frame, you'll do a standing 4. I'm not joking. Doesn't have good range. Remember, it was nerfed from Season 2 to Season 3. 13 frame, you have 3-4. Again, the range is questionable, but that's decent. 14 frame, oh sorry, you have forward 1+2, which is nice, I guess. And then 15 frame, unfortunately, all you have is the hop kick. So remember that sequence I said everyone could punish these days? Or, oh, sorry. That down for 2. Yeah. Unfortunately, Miguel suffers this legacy hop kick where, interestingly, you know, he has super long legs. Look at this, forward 4, for example. Oh, shouldn't this translate into his hop kick? Nope. Nope. Unfortunately, that's his 15 frame launcher. So again, you have big punishment problems as well. So why not go with Shaheen? Long range hop kick. Down for 2. So again, long legs. Yeah, we gotta remember Fakum Ram has longer legs. But it used to be Miguel and Dragunov, the longest legs in the game, even longer than Marduk. And what this translates to is that a lot of characters get unique combos, but this of course is high level play. High level players know about this. Most characters just get bigger, much bigger combo possibilities on Dragunov and Miguel, and this goes for non-wall combos as well, but mostly translates into wall combos, and you can do some disgusting things. I really like to play Geese, and his wall combos just, they hit level 2, man, on Dragunov and Miguel. And of course, Fakum Ram. But so, I hope this gives you an understanding as to why you don't see Miguel in high-level play and why Sephi Black is nothing short of a hero for playing this character. Talk about being a character specialist and loyalist. And that's why you see him play Shaheen a lot, because I think Shaheen and Negan are rather close to Miguel, but they just do a much better job. Hope you enjoyed the video, and take care, everyone.